This model of the Liebherr LB28 drilling rig comes in a particularly large Liebherr branded box. When you open it up, the first thing you find in addition to the trays is a large instruction sheet. It covers the main assembly points for the model and it's printed in German, and on the other side it's in English. So we're off to a good start with some instructions. Let's look at what's in the box. Firstly, there are a couple of items in the top tray, and this is a piece of drilling casing. And if we cut the tape and lift the lid, there's also a large piece of plastic. It's textured and in fact is a display base for the model. And we'll see how that gets used a little bit later on. On with the rest of the box, and there's some more tape to cut, and then we can take the lid off, and then it becomes obvious why the model box is so large. There are various bits of packaging to remove, and that includes this rubber band on the crawler tracks, and after that there's many wrappings of a cling film type material. The first thing we'll do is tidy up some poor finishing work on the auxiliary winch, and we'll refix it and trim it up so it hangs better. To start the assembly proper, we'll add the rotary drive and Kelly bar onto the leader sledge, and it initially hangs in place and then you secure it with some screws. There are two small screws to insert, one on either side, and depending on how tightly you do them up, they lock the sledge to the leader. With the Kelly bar fixed, we need to attach the hoist rope to the end, and you have to feed it through a very small hole. In fact, this turns out to be quite frustrating. So without showing you how frustrating it is, we'll move straight on to the rope being fixed. And a good tip to secure a knot is to add a touch of our old friend super glue. The next job is to attach some hydraulic lines from the rotary drive to the sledge. Again, this is fiddly and a bit frustrating, so we'll just jump straight to the finished result. The last bit of assembly is to fit a very small floodlight to the cab, and again this is fiddly and frustrating, so we'll jump straight to the finished result. One unusual aspect of this model is that it comes with a ready formed display base, and to use it we'll push out the pre-formed hole where the pile will go, and then we add in the short length of pile casing. Once that's put in, there's a small adapter piece that goes in at the end, and it's got different diameters at each end, so you have to fit it the right way round. And after that you can then drop in the LB28. The final touch is to lower the casing driver onto the casing. The tracks are metal and detailed, and they're mounted on frames which have working rollers. The cab is also detailed with a protection guard on the roof. The body has got some solid grills in the casting, and this model is in the colours of PST Grundbau of Germany, and their colour scheme and graphics are rendered well. There are plenty of rubber hydraulic hoses running to the winches, and that detailing continues around the rotary drive. The leader is all metal, and at the top the pulleys are also metal. Although the metal Kelly bar is not telescopic, the auger looks very good, but it is permanently fixed to the Kelly bar and not removable. At this point, let's run a quick check on how tall the model is, and it's about 19 inches or 48 centimetres. Here we are out on the Cranes etc. piling site, and the tracks are too stiff to roll on a smooth surface. You can turn them by hand, although again they are quite stiff, and they're held with a fairly strong tension by the spring-loaded idler. With the leader raised off the ground, you can rotate the model smoothly, and there's also some good functionality on the piling equipment itself. The main winch can be operated to raise and lower the auger, and it's got a spring-loaded brake so it will hold a position. And if you loosen the screws that secure the sledge to the leader, then the whole rotary platform can go up and down, and that includes the casing driver. So the whole arrangement can then be raised and lowered down onto a casing. Also working on the model is the auxiliary winch, although the hook is very lightweight, so here we've added some chains. Another thing you can do if you're so inclined is to rotate the auger. Yes, this is good for anyone who likes screwing with a model. The other main feature of the model is that all of the hydraulics that control the leader do work, so it's possible to lower the leader completely in order to form a transport load. The hydraulic rams are all reasonably stiff and will hold most positions that you set. And another nice aspect is that you can remove two pins from the leader head. And by doing that, it allows the head to rotate downwards to lower the transport headroom. The last stage of preparing the model for transport is to reduce the width of the crawler tracks. They are telescopic, so you can reduce them from a working width to a transport width. All you need after that is a reasonably large transport vehicle, and then you've got a very impressive display combination. Another possibility is to combine the LB28 with other models to form a piling diorama. This is a very good piling model from NZG, and it looks very good in the colours of PST Grundbau. It's a limited edition of only 300 models, and the colour scheme and graphics are very good. And the functionality and flexibility of the model also sets it apart. So if you like piling equipment, this model is easy to highly recommend.